you decide to keep on searching the secrets of this kind of movement, because here, you know, we have the pressure of our fathers, and I mean, you have to keep on being a child all the time if you want to be inside of this, no?
Yeah. So I think...
and it's great, of course. I'm not criticizing it.
No.
It is good. But in Spain, I'm seeing these videos and I feel really envy.
I think, you know, sometimes it just takes a little seed of, you know, inspiration to spark a community. And maybe, you know, it could be something like starting something like Instructables, a Spanish language version of Instructables. That might be the thing that would trigger it. That's a good opportunity there for somebody. You know, and also, I mean, if you want to think of the money, the potential to make money with a site like Instructables, you have the instructions on how to make something, and it says it requires a cordless drill, and it requires some contact cement, and all those lists of things you need are live links to Amazon or some other site that offers affiliate or associate commission on the sale. So people read the instructions and say, oh, I want to make that, and then they click on those buttons to order the parts, and you, the creator, whoever creates the site, will get the commission. So I think there's a business there, if there isn't something like that in Spain already. And does that answer your question, Miguel? Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And if someone has a question in Spanish, that's fine, because I'll get a translation.
Hi. Hello. My name is Hernán Aracena from Venezuela.
Hi.
Hi. I have a question. Do you think it's possible that people can create things online, like real things, like open source projects, but for the real life?
That's an interesting question. You know, I mean, there are ideas, like, you mean like open source government, or I have a friend who is working on something. She does something, it's called urban homesteading, which is people who live in the city and have just, you know, a very small yard for gardening, and maybe they can keep like one chicken, a little bit of compost, and they want to start kind of an open source movement where there are classes and instructions and methods to do urban homesteading, and so that you can, you know, figure out how to get the most out of a small garden that's, you know, 20 square feet or something like that. So sure, I do think there's a place for that kind of thing, and you know, there's open source hardware, definitely, which is, you know, physical stuff that like you know, Arduino and things like that. So does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes, please.
Sure. Whoever gets the microphone first.
I would ask you, because at the beginning of the speech you said that do-it-yourself movement can be a way out of the crisis. What I mean, what I wonder to know if you mean that things like happen with open source movement in the software industry may happen in other industries like car manufacturing or other kinds of engineering. This is one there to know.
Sure, yeah, that's a good question, and I do think that this maker movement, which is very open and collaborative, offers a lot of possibilities for people who want to start a small business. One of the interesting things about editing the Make magazine is that a lot of the contributors have these really great ideas that probably have commercial value. For example, the bird food spinner. That guy could probably find someone to manufacture it, and he could sell it, and he could patent it. but he's very open with it. He just thought it was a cool thing, and he wants to share it with the world. Of the hundreds and hundreds of articles that we've had in Make magazine, I've only had maybe one person concerned about the protection of his idea. It's a very open community, and if you meet them, they really want you to understand how things work, and they love the idea that you'll get involved too, because they hope in turn that they'll learn from you once you start making something. There's a big value in having fresh blood in a community, because someone who's inexperienced who enters and starts to learn has different way of looking at things, and so they might be really come up with some really cool innovations. And so we start to see that. For example, with the coffee, the temperature controller for the coffee, the guy who invented that, adding the temperature control system to the coffee, had only been drinking espresso for 1 year, and he had only owned the machine for a few months. And he came up with the idea, oh, I should put temperature control on it. Meanwhile, you have the espresso companies with their engineers for 100 years just sitting around, tapping their fingers and not doing it. So I think this outside world of collaboration and keeping things open offers huge opportunities for a new kind of economy that's more decentralized and local, yet connected through the internet, information-wise. Thank you. Anything else?
Hi, how are you? My name is Juan, I'm from Chile.
Hi.
Can you talk a little bit about your pass through Wired Magazine? Because it seems that almost everybody that has worked for Wired Magazine in the past has ended up doing some awesome projects. So is it just a coincidence, or is it just that Wired's really good school?
It was an exciting place. I started working there in 1993, and it was because the executive editor, a guy named Kevin Kelly, saw Boing Boing before when he was at another magazine called The Whole Earth Review. And he liked Boing Boing, and we would trade subscriptions. He sent me Whole Earth Review, and I would send him Boing Boing. So when he went to work to Wired, he thought that some of my ideas about the culture of technology would be interesting for the magazine. And so I went there, and I liked everybody that I met there. And I think other people who were really interested in the computer as a tool of communication at the time discovered Wired and wanted to work there. So it was kind of a self-selected group of people. They chose themselves to work there in a big way. And so I think those kind of people that work there, that, are just still fascinated with what kinds of things the internet can do. Another thing I noticed about them was that they were less interested in technology than they were at the things that could be done with technology. Technology in a way is kind of predictable. Things are going to get smaller. They're going to get faster, more powerful. But the things that can be created from the technology are the things that are surprising. Like Twitter, for example. It's not. If you think about the idea, it's not that special. But the thing that's happened from it is, this kind of complex circles of communication that have developed from it. So hopefully that answered your question. All right. That looks no more questions. All right, well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Gracias.